Hey guys, it's Alex C with TFBTV, and today's video is going to be 5 hilariously bad concealed carry guns. As you can see right now on the screen, there is a Flintlock pistol. Now, Flintlock pistols are single shot and black powder. I really like black powder firearms, however, I believe they are just about the worst firearm you could carry these days. I don't think anybody ever would, but that doesn't make it any less hilarious or pertinent to this video. Of course, to load one of these, you pull back the hammer to half cock, put enough powder in your measure. Typically in this pistol I put about 60 or 70 grains because go big or go home. Then you got to pour it down the muzzle. Put a patched lead ball down. Don't forget you've got your ramrod that you have to use repeatedly to ram everything down. Open up your frizzen. Prime it with some quadruple FG powder like I do. I guess you don't have to. Bring it to full cock, and then you're ready to put a 12-inch diameter hole in the bad guy. One time, of course. Like I said, I doubt anybody does this these days. However, that would be a pretty bad choice unless you're trying to make a hell of a smoke screen. In which case, this pistol actually meets the bill. If you shoot a bad guy and you miss, then the giant smoke screen produced by the black powder cloud in front of you is going to give you time to get away and maybe get halfway through the loading process before he hits you in the head with a bat. So the next pistol is actually going to be 6 times better than the Flintlock, which still doesn't bring it quite up to par, and that's going to be a cap and ball revolver. I also really like cap and ball revolvers. However, I also like Ford Model Ts. That doesn't mean I'm going to carry one of these. It doesn't mean I'm going to daily drive a Model T. For those of you that don't really know how these work, they're pretty typical of a modern single-action revolver when you actually have it loaded and you're shooting. This is actually safe right here because there's no caps on the revolver nor are any of the cylinder or chambers loaded up. But to accomplish this, you're going to, well, I use a little loading station, but put your choice of black powder. I usually use double FG. Pour it in there, and then you've got your patches, and then you've got your balls. And you're going to use the rammer on the front of the gun to ram that down and do that 6 times, and then you've got a fully loaded revolver. So not practical for reloading, but you've got 5 more shots than the old Flintlock. And of course, don't forget, once you've loaded the chambers, you actually do have to add a percussion cap to each of the nipples located on the back of the cylinder. Otherwise, you've pretty much got nothing. So this would be a hilariously bad concealed carry choice, but I guess it would be better than nothing. So next we have a pistol that is probably the best one on the list. That's going to be a C96 Mauser broom handle pistol. You could, I guess, technically conceal these if you're a big person and you had some sort of strange holster or, carrying it in a shoulder holster with a jacket. But the issue here is actually working the pistol. They're very cumbersome. They're hard to reload. You have 10 shots of actually pretty stout ammunition, but it's hilariously oversized, and that would make it absolutely ridiculous to concealed carry in a market when you have, $300 subcompact pistols. But if you do carry a Schnellfeuer M712, you will get my respect, because that would be just awesome. So next we've got something that actually some people do, and that's going to be concealed carrying a full-size 22 pistol. I have actually seen this. Now, I don't really have any opposition to carrying a subcompact 22 pistol like this Smith & Wesson 61-3 on the bottom, but to put it into perspective, let's overlay it on the Ruger MK3, and it is a subcompact pistol, whereas a full-size is about the size of a Browning high power, making it a colossally huge gun. And if you're going to carry a big gun, why not carry a gun that fires a larger cartridge more suitable for self-defense? But that's just me. So let's move on to what I might consider actually the most dangerous option on the list, and that's going to be the Type 94 Nambu. Not only are these hilariously ugly pistols that look like they were made with a grinder and a file, well, actually they might have actually been made with a grinder and a file towards the end of the war, but everything on these is pretty bad. They're horribly small pistols, at least for me. I'm a fairly big guy with decently large hands, but they function very strangely. They fire a very anemic cartridge. It's about 32 ACP, maybe a little in between 32 and 38. They have a bolt hold open, but it's actually the magazine follower. So when you remove the magazine, it slams home. But the Achilles heel of this is actually that they can fire when you press the transfer bar on the side. The safeties actually only blocks the transfer bar. I'll demonstrate that right here. So pretty dangerous. There's actually a chance that on reholstering you could knock this into something and it would go off. But yeah, so I won't be carrying the Type 94 Nambu for any reason anytime soon, except maybe to ridicule in a future video. Anyways, guys, I'm Alex C with TFBTV. This is a little bit different kind of video, but I still hope you enjoyed it. Really just kind of a subjective, opinionated thing, but nonetheless, we'd like to thank Ventura Munitions and Grizzly Targets. We hope to see you next time.